Good afternoon everyone. As we all know that today we are celebrating National Science Day as a science exhibition. So, my model name is the human eye. As we all know, the human eye is the most important sense organ of our body. The human eye consists of an eyeball. The eyeballs are fixed in the sockets of our skull. These are the organs for sight. The eyeball has various parts. If you don't know the parts, no need to worry, because today I am going to explain the different parts of the human eyeball. So first, let us start from the exterior part of the human eyeball. So the first defensive layer of the human eyeball is the eyelid. The eyelid is the folded skin above the eyeball, which can be like this. It is the folded skin above the eyeball. It protects the eye from dust, rain, flies, etc. Now, the second part of the human eyeball is the iris. The iris is a colorful part of the human eye. It contains muscles which control the amount of light entering the eye by changing the size of the pupil. As you can see, this is the iris. Now, you might be thinking that most of the people's iris is black. But why have I colored it in blue? So, the reason for this is that the iris changes its color from person to person. This is because of melanin. Melanin is a chemical produced by the human body that determines the color of the skin, hair, and the iris. So, the third part of the human eye is the pupil. The pupil is a black dot at the center of the eye. It is a small opening at the center of the eye through which the light enters the human eyeball. Now, let us move towards the interior part of the human eyeball. So, the first part that comes is the cornea, which is also a part of sclera. So, we will start from sclera. The sclera is the outermost opaque and elastic covering. It forms the transparent cornea at the front. The sclera helps to maintain the shape of the eyeball, and also it protects all the inner layers of the eye. Now, there is also a transparent part of sclera. It is the cornea. The cornea is the elastic front part of the sclera. The cornea allows the light to enter into the eye. It also absorbs some damaging ultraviolet radiations of the sun. Now, behind the cornea, there is a liquid which is also known as the aqueous body or aqueous humor. So, the aqueous body protects the eyes from dirt or germs that enter through the cornea, and also it lubricates the iris and the pupil and prevents them from going dry. Now, the part which is behind the pupil is the lens. The lens is also known as crystalline lens. It is a transparent and solid structure. It can undergo a change in thickness to focus the light on the retina. Now, behind the lens, it is the biggest part of the human eyeball, which is the vitreous body or the vitreous humor. The vitreous body is a gelatinous and transparent liquid filled in the eyeball. It protects the eye from minor shocks and jerks. Now, here is the most important part of the human eyeball. It is the retina. The retina helps us to see. Retina is a layer of light sensitive receptors through which we are able to see. The retina consists of two types of light sensitive receptors. They are cones and rods. There are three types of cones. The cones determine the different colors that we see in an image. They are red, green, and blue. And with the help of these three colors, we are able to see all the color spectrum. So these are the works of the three cones. But if one of the cones stops working, so at that time a person is said to be in the state of color blindness. Now the second type of receptor is the rods. The rods help us to distinguish black and white color. So these were the receptors, and now retina. There are two parts of retina. The macular part of the retina helps us to see the central vision or the clear vision, and the peripheral part of the retina helps us to see things outside the central or clear vision. Now this is the optic nerve. The optic nerve transfers the electrical impulses from the retina. Now as we already know that the lens focus the light on the retina with the help of the cornea. So when the light forms on the retina, it forms an image. The image is then converted into electrical impulses. The impulses are carried by the optic nerve to the brain. The optic nerve is thus a sensory type of nerve. It connects the brain with the both eyes. So these were all the parts of the human eye. But now I would like to tell you some additional facts related to the human eye, which is about the pupil. So the pupil is a small opening in the center of the eye. And have you ever experienced that whenever you are in an environment with a particular amount of light, and when you suddenly change the amount of light, you are not able to open your eyes or your eyes start to water? This is because our pupils get adapted to the environment according to the quantity of light in the surroundings. So because of it, our pupils are at a specific size, and when the amount of light changes, so at that time our pupil also takes time to change its shape. That's why after some time we become normal. And everyone might have seen in movies that the pirates wear a patch on their eye. This is because when they are above the deck of the ship, so they can see with their one eye in the environment that has light. And whenever they are fighting, so at that time they have to go under the deck. So they just uncover the patch on their eye and use the eye which was covered to see in the dark areas. Now some additional parts of the human eye are the suspensory muscles. The lens just can't float in the vitreous humor, so it is holded by the suspensory muscles, and because of it, the suspensory muscles are able to change the size and thickness of the lens. And now this orange part over here is known as the choroid. The choroid contains 85% of the blood of the whole human eye. These both are the rectus muscles which connect the eyeball to the skull. Now that's all, and I hope that you all received new knowledge from this presentation. Thank you.